A couple of things. We're from Mutual of Omaha, and if that sounds a little bit confusing because you're thinking United of Omaha, United of Omaha is actually a 100% owned subsidiary of Mutual of Omaha. When we started doing some rebranding efforts about 10 years ago, we started referring to ourselves as Mutual of Omaha. But the life insurance that you write, that's on United of Omaha paper. Just so you know, we have a very long history with Flynn Associates. Back when we first got into the brokerage marketplace in 1992, Mike Flynn was one of our original advisors as to how we should get into that market space. And so we're here 19 years later. We're still great partners with Flynn Associates. We're very happy to be here. Ron has a very interesting program that he wants to share with you today. It's called Succession Consulting Group. It's really about the process and the marketing of business succession planning. I think you're going to find it very, very interesting. After Ron gets done with his piece, I'm going to give you a little bit of a commercial about our company, give you some great information. So we hope you'll enjoy this. Without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Ron Lee. Ron's the manager of our advanced sales department. And while he's getting started talking, I'm just going to hand out some folders so that you can kind of see what he's talking about as he goes through his presentation. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you, Mark, and thank you everyone for coming today. I think we've got a pool going for when I trip over the cords here, so 11:45 is probably going to be the winner there. So, yeah, thank you again. We are kind of fortunate to be out here. We're always happy to come out and visit, but right now home is getting smashed with snow, so we're even more happy to be out than usual today. As Mark indicated, just a new program, excuse me, called Succession Consulting Group. And we're really excited about this program. We wanted to come out and share it with you because, as you guys know, sometimes in advanced sales we come out and we bring things that are interesting but sometimes aren't all that useful. So about, what was that, a year ago or so, Mark?
Yes.
We sat down and we said, all right, we need to figure out what we do well, and we need to figure out how we can get that out and make it usable to people. So that's how we came up with Succession Consulting. It works well with our products, it's in our skill set, and so that's where we're coming. But as we built this program, we said we can't just give people good tools. Everybody makes good tools. You guys see great marketing pieces, great kits from all the carriers. We decided we had to give you a track to run on. Okay? So if you already do this type of work, you may not want to use the track that we've laid out for you, but you can certainly use our services. But if you don't, absolutely follow the process that we've created here, and we think that you'll find that succession consulting isn't maybe as intimidating or difficult as it might initially appear. So we always start out with a good tax disclaimer. The first thing I would do is I wanted to ask you some questions. And the first one is, when do you want to exit your business? Not then do you want to exit your business. But interestingly, that's not really the question either. I don't think you want to go out to people and say, when do you want to exit your business? Because there are a lot of people who don't ever want to exit their business, right? And they are more than happy to die with their boots on, if you will. So what we've discovered when we started this program, we said, you know what? Everybody wants to retire someday and go down to the Caribbean. Not true. Not true. We've discovered there are plenty of people who don't ever want to get out of the business. So don't ask when do you want out of your business. Ask do you want to exit your business. And if they say yes, then when? Then we can get started. How much income will you need? And can selling your business provide a lifetime income at that level? This is the real key to exit planning. Exit planning isn't just passing it by will. It isn't just a buy-sell agreement. It isn't those things in many cases. If they want to retire from their business someday, we have to do some retirement distribution analysis. We have to find out what they need. And we've, as an industry, gotten so much more sophisticated about that issue than even in the last 10 years, right? Because it used to be, you get to age 65, if you have X amount of money, you'll get 6%, and you'll have enough money to last until 90, right? And we all know that after a couple of years ago, 2008, it doesn't always work that way. So we have stochastic modeling, we have Monte Carlo analysis, things like that. If you do the financial planning side of it, this is a wonderful opportunity. You start at the retirement income and you move backwards. You say, what do you need from your business so we can figure out when you can leave it and how you can leave it. That's like I said, it's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. What is your business worth, and could you sell it for that price today? Most people have no idea what their businesses are worth. They either way overestimate or they way underestimate the business. We work with a business valuation firm on occasion, and they have some statistics, but most people are not just a little bit off on the value of their business, they're off by more than 50%. So when you're talking about being off by 50%, how do you do your estate planning if it's a good sized business? How do you know the size of the life insurance policy you need for estate liquidity if you don't know the value of the business? Number one. But number two, if you want to use that business as your retirement vehicle, how can you know how much income it's going to generate if you don't know what it's worth? So it helps to have a value, but can you sell it for that price today? Here's what I love. People just assume they're going to sell their business to somebody someday, and that somebody is going to have the money. But if you work in this business, you know that businesses worth less than $5 million are hard to transfer. They're hard to sell on the open market. And you are not going to find venture capital for a $1 million business. It's not going to happen. So we need to start doing some planning to say, if you can't write that check today, what makes you think your child can write that check today? What makes you think that your competitor, if your competitor is going to buy your business, can write that check today? So these are very real questions to ask people. Do you want a family member to take over the business? What about the income you need in retirement? We hit that a lot in this because we know retirement planning, that's the key. For these folks who want to retire from their business, we have to absolutely hit that distribution side of it. We need to know you have enough money to retire or you don't. Because you guys know when you go out there, when do people retire? People retire when they hit a point on the calendar, right? It's not a goal achieved. It's not a, hey, when I have X amount of dollars, I'll be able to generate Y amount of income, and then I'll be fine. They say, I can take full retirement now. I can get my full pension now. And so we need to have someone help them with that, and that someone is you. And can you get advice from someone who actually understands exit planning? So if you have asked yourself any of these questions in your businesses, then you know that your small business owners are doing the same, right? So that's what we want to help people do. So the first question that you guys need to ask, of course, is there anybody to talk to? And if you're going to come and you're going to spend time with me today talking about succession planning, do you have any clients in your book? Are there people out there that you can talk to? And I can't encourage you enough as we're going through the next hour to start thinking about that small business owner that you work with that you know is 50, 55, 60, and is maybe thinking about succession planning. Maybe it's time to go back and just say, hey, I just attended a seminar, I have access to a new service, let's sit down and talk about this. So please, over the next hour, think about those folks. But here's some interesting statistics. 71% of small business owners have thought about succession planning. Think that's high? Think about everybody who said, you know what, I've got to get out of this business. Think about everybody who said, boy, I hope someday I can pass this on to my kids, and my kids will be smart enough to run it. With 71% actually seemed low to me. But 71% have thought about it. Only 35% of that 71% actually put a plan in place, which still isn't bad in my mind. But what's the plan? The plan is probably along the lines of, I put it in my will, I drafted a will, I did a buy-sell agreement. It probably is not an all-encompassing type of plan. And finally, only 1 in 4 of that 35% actually use life insurance as part of that plan. And isn't that why most of us are here? I mean, we would like people, we know that life insurance is a great